Fear is growing among Palestinians packed into their last refuge in Gaza that Israel will soon launch a planned assault on the southern city of Rafah after truce talks in Cairo ended inconclusively. Israel faced growing international pressure on Wednesday as talks in the Egyptian capital involving the United States, Israel, Egypt and Qatar came to an end without any sign of a breakthrough. Officials did say, though, that Tuesday's talks were constructive and would continue. More than 1 million Palestinians are crammed into Rafah, next to the border with Egypt. Many there are living in tent camps and makeshift shelters after fleeing Israeli bombardments elsewhere in Gaza. The Israeli military says it wants to flush out Islamist militants from hideouts in Rafah and free hostages being held there after the Hamas rampage in Israel on October 7th. However, it has given no details of a proposed plan to evacuate civilians. The World Health Organization's representative for the West Bank and Gaza, Richard Peeperkorn, said an offensive in Rafah could overwhelm its already overburdened health system.
Military activities in this area, this densely populated areas, would be, of course, an unfathomable catastrophe and an enormous, would even further expand the humanitarian disaster beyond imaginations. A new wave of displacements and would also really give an increase in, of course, in additional injuries due to the military offensive and trauma.
Israel says it takes steps to minimize civilian casualties and accuses Hamas fighters of hiding among civilians, including in hospitals and shelters, something the militant group denies. Israeli forces shelled eastern areas of Rafah overnight and pounded several areas of Khan Yunis in southern Gaza, residents said. Rafah neighbours Egypt, but Cairo has made it clear it will not allow a refugee exodus over the border. At least 28,576 Palestinians have been killed, and more than 68,290 injured in Israeli strikes on Gaza since October 7th, the enclave's health ministry said on Wednesday. Israeli tallies state that at least 1,200 Israelis were killed and around 250 were taken hostage in the Hamas raid on southern Israel on October 7th. Israel has vowed to fight on until it eradicates Hamas and has made the return of the last hostages a priority. Hamas says Israel must commit to ending the war and withdrawing from Gaza.